Hey guys, Prowl 1701, and today on Let's Review Doctor Who, we're going to be talking about the infamous Series 4 of modern Doctor Who, what some people will cite as the best series that modern Doctor Who has put out so far. Now, I don't go that far. My favorite series is Series 3. I think that's the best modern Who's ever gotten, with Series 1 probably running right behind it. But Series 4 is still one of the show's strongest seasons in the modern series, with a very popular Doctor, a good Doctor, and probably the best companion the show has had in the modern series. The best modern companion, and one of the best companions I think Doctor Who has had overall. And also they make a fantastic TARDIS team. I like the chemistry between Catherine and David, and thus the 10th Doctor and Donna have good chemistry. I like their banter. I like that they are very much a non-relationship companionship. After going through the romantic stuff with Rose and all that stuff with Martha, it's nice to just have a Doctor and companion that are friends. The first time we've really had this in the modern series, outside of like Mickey and Jack, who were there for a little bit. So, a nice variety of episodes again. But I feel like there are some bad ones here. Unlike Series 3, which had no bad episodes, I feel like Series 4 does have a few of them in there that don't work for me. Some middle-of-the-run stories and some good ones. It's a nice variety of quality. Maybe nice is the wrong word. But we also get Martha returning for a few episodes. That's nice, and I feel like she's grown as a character. And I enjoy having her back. Even though I feel like she's a little wasted, I like having her back. I like that her and Donna get on well enough, the little bit of time they get together. And a couple missed opportunities, like there was definitely an opportunity, I feel, to have the Brigadier come back. Maybe Nicholas Courtney was just unavailable or just not in good health at the time, perhaps. But I wish they had had him in the Suntaran two-parter. He would have been perfect for it. David Tennant continues to impress as the Doctor. He has definitely made the role his own here. His hair is immaculately perfect. And I love everything him and Catherine Tate are doing together. They are a very good TARDIS team. The show continues to impress. And I feel like the visuals have improved. Again, I think they're a step above even where they were in Series 3, which I think was a step above where they were in 1 and 2. So I feel like the visuals look better, even though these are still shot in standard definition. I still think they look the best of the first 4 seasons. And the special effects, I feel like there's a production budget increase that happened with this season. Now, I will be including Voyage of the Damned in this ranking list, the Christmas special. I feel like it deserves it, honestly. A very strong season, but I do think there are some misses here. I feel like there are some weak stories, and we'll go ahead and talk about those. At the bottom of the list is Turn Left for me. I just don't really get into Turn Left. I get what it's doing. I get it's a Dr. Light episode. The Doctor was busy. Of course, David Tennant was busy filming Midnight, which of course is a companion Light episode. And that's a good way to make their schedule work so they can do a full 13-episode season. Totally get that. I like alternate universe stuff typically too. And some of the stuff going on in this episode is fascinating. And the idea of all of this would have happened just because the Doctor wasn't there is fascinating. It's interesting. I like how it's a nice altered view of history. It's a terrifying view of history. That part when Wilf, like, it's happening again, when he's seeing everybody load up and he's like, it's happening again. That's terrifying. Utterly terrifying. My problem with this episode is, one, it upsets me that we don't have another Dr. Donna episode because I love their chemistry together, so I really don't like having another episode where they're not there. That's its biggest flaw. But the linchpin that the episode relies on, I don't buy. The fact that if Donna hadn't been like, we can leave now, that the Doctor would have been killed in there, which sets all of this in motion, I don't buy. Now, and maybe that the thing on her back, maybe that's part of its thing, is saying, hey, here's this scenario that wouldn't have happened, but if it did. Because I don't buy, and I know in the episode, The Runaway Bride, she does get his attention, but I still can't believe he would have died. And since I don't buy the linchpin, the whole thing the episode relies on it, I can't buy the episode. Also, I think the ending with everything turning into Bad Wolf is a little over the top. It's a little over the top, to my opinion. I was kind of rolling my eyes. It was great to see Billie Piper back. She's great in this. But yeah, I don't really get in. It's doing some interesting things, but that and the fact I don't feel like Unit and everyone else would be able to work the TARDIS good enough to do that. I just don't. Then again, I guess if they had his body, they would have had his key and gotten in. It's just not one I ever like going back to, despite Catherine putting in a good performance in it. Next on the list is the Sontaran Stratagem and the Poison Sky. Again, not bad. I don't know if any of these episodes are necessarily bad. It's just a bit uninteresting. I don't think it uses the Sontarans as well as it could have. And also, while their redesign is okay, it's not great. I still prefer their classic design or their War of the Sontaran design better. The actors playing the Sontarans are fine. The story is fine. The whole stuff with the Atmos is fine. The kind of geeky kid leading it is fine. Everything's just kind of fine. Missed opportunity not having the Brigadier. Great having Martha back, even if it doesn't really use her well. But hey, at least Freema's getting to play a clone of herself. So she gets to be a little evil in there. That's kind of nice. And it does have some fun scenes in it. Like when the Doctor uses that thing to wipe out the sky at that one point. And it's a shame that soldier dies later, because him and the Doctor got on well. But it also has that moment when the kid has to step in and save the Doctor. Because the Doctor's like, I'll press this button. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. And I'm sitting over here going, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're going to wait for someone else to volunteer. You know, it's like, I'm the Doctor. I'm important. And someone's like, but Doctor, you're too important. Let me do it for you. I'm not important. And the Doctor's like, all right, you talked me into it. That happens a lot in modern Doctor Who, where someone else has to show up and press the button that the Doctor's been threatening 15 minutes to press the button for. That always bugs me. What is it? Let me read my handwriting. Yeah. The next one on the list is the Fires of Pompei. Don't really get into this one. Again, I don't necessarily think it's bad. It's just forgettable. It's just uninteresting. I just don't care. I think I've only watched this episode 2 or 3 times. It's probably due a rewatch, actually. Also, some of the special effects have aged kind of badly, let's be honest. Like the little fire creatures, that looks a little rough. I'm looking at that going, that's some rough CGI. Again, I feel like classic Who effects age better than some of the modern Who effects of those early seasons. I just don't get this one. I like having Peter Capaldi in it and Karen in it. And I like the bit when Donna's just like, just save someone, anyone. And he does manage to save that family, which does play into why he regenerates into Capaldi later, actually. But just overall, it's just a forgettable episode for me. There's a lot of these, D tier, maybe below average tier episodes that aren't flat out garbage, but they're just not that interesting or that good. All 3 of the ones we've talked about so far kind of run into that, where I, turn left, I can see other people thinking it's good, it's objectively well made, but they're just uninteresting to me. So they're all kind of D tier episodes, kind of below average episodes. Next on the list is Planet of the Ood. Getting better. My biggest problem with this one is that it's the Ood. And I don't really care for the Ood. First, I hate their design. I hate the Ood design. I much prefer the design of the Sensorites. The Ood just look... But the actual story I like. Them battling slavery and servitude. And then I like the comeuppance the guy at the end gets. I actually like that twist a lot. It's well deserved. And the whole Dr. Donna thing, which we pick up on later, is really nice. This is one I also need to rewatch, because I used to like this one more. Now it's just kind of in the middle for me, but it's certainly not a bad episode. It's a very enjoyable episode, I guess, but just one I want to rewatch every blue moon. Next on the list, this is where we start getting into the good ones, the really good ones. The Silence in the Library 2-parter. This one is really good. For some reason, it hasn't aged as well. It's objectively very well made, but for some reason, Again, because I've watched these episodes so many times. I was a big Tennant fan for a long time. He was like my solid number 2 for a long time. That I've watched these first 4 series so many times that this one just has less impact. First off, the stuff going on with Donna inside the computer doesn't interest me. The stuff with the little girl and Dr. Moon gets a little tedious with me. It's neat seeing Donna with her family as she's slowly picking up something's not right. But for me, most of the interesting stuff is stuff going on with the Doctor and the survivors in the library. And River. River's fascinating. This is probably River's best appearance. And I like River depending on the episode. Alex is always great in the role, but depending on the episode more than others, she's really good in this one. And I like the idea of someone from the Doctor's future who knows more than he does about it. I enjoy that. We see that exemplified in her Sonic being more advanced, which I also really like. I feel like Alex and David have good chemistry, just like Alex and Matt do. As a matter of fact, Alex has good chemistry with all of the Doctors she interacts with in the show. So it's nice seeing that. I love the set design. I like the guest cast. They're all playing their parts really well. And then I like the idea of the Vashta Narada. Now, for me, it gets a little silly. This is definitely one of those stories where I think part 1 is better than part 2. I think part 2 is good, but part 1 is better. The whole bit when they get in the suits and they start running around in the suits is a little campy for me. I'm going to be honest. That's a little silly. Also, Doctor, why do you keep tinting people's visors when it's obviously not working? He keeps doing the visor tint thing when it never works. It's just so we get the shock of the skulls popping out. It is. It's a plot device. There's no reason for him to do that after the first 1 or 2 times. After that, it's just a plot device so we can see the skull chucking in. So yeah, them kind of wearing the suits, the shadows in the suits, a little silly to me, honestly. But the idea of the Vashta Narada as shadows that can kill you and you having a second shadow, that's pretty cool. And then I love the speech he gives when he tells them, you're in the biggest, I liked what's her name, you're in the biggest library in the universe, look me up. And the shadows back off and they're just like, you got one day. I do love that scene. Tennant owns that scene so well. And I like the fact that they're able to save River and kind of back her up into the computer. That's really cool. And the twist that the Doctor, even though this is the first time he's meeting her, he knows her eventual fate. It's an interesting dynamic. So a good episode, a well-made episode, with a really good cliffhanger for part 1, I might add. But it just doesn't quite hold the strength to me that it used to. Like Blink does, for example. Blink still maintains its, God tier status for me, where Silence in the Library doesn't, while still being good. Next on the list is Voyage of the Damned. This is a great Christmas special. I really like Kylie in this. She plays Astrid really well. I feel like a lot of money went into this. I mean, it looks like a really nice production. I'm really, really impressed with the visuals. I love the fact that they got Jeff, I believe his name is Jeff, one of the veterans from Classic Who played in The Mutants and in the Silurians. They brought him back as the captain of the ship. I love that. 1, I just like him as an actor, and I love when he shows up in Doctor Who. 2, I love when they bring back classic Doctor Who actors. I love the introduction of Alonzo. I like Alonzo. It's cool to see him here. Matter of fact, you have a pretty nice group of characters here. They all have their own kind of interesting personalities. The couple who's there, even though she had to call, the wife who had to call the hotline so many times, and the husband just thinks it's funny. Yeah, you have the red cactus guy. Don't even get me to say his name. He's great. I liked him and how he went out like a boss. You have the one guy who's always on the phone, the business. The one guy you definitely want to buy it, so naturally he survives because you want him to die and he makes it. And then of course Clive Swift is great in it. Another classic Doctor Who alumni slipping back in. Clive Swift, of course, being in Revelation of the Daleks, and I much prefer his character in this one. He's great in this role here. I love the confrontation with the villain at the end and finding out his tooth actually does do the ding. That's a nice little humor. And I like that the doctor's like, oh, it actually does that. That tickles me pink. And I love seeing the doctor's rage when he can't save her. And he's like, you can't save her. And he's like, I can do anything. And he kicks it. I like seeing that side of him. Now, his speech as he lets her particles out is a little weak. But I like seeing his rage before that. And I like Clive Swift's character realizing he's rich. That's pretty neat. And, of course, the introduction of Wilf. I love the introduction of Wilf. And the explanation that everybody's in hiding because every Christmas stuff happens on this planet. I love the acknowledgement of that. I love the meta-ness of that a lot. It's a really good episode. Also, I love the design of the kind of guardian angels who look like a cross between the robots of death and the axons. I actually really like that. Query, you are all going to die. I enjoy that. A very strong episode. Very, very strong episode. And next on the list is Midnight. Now, since I am ranking these more on my personal enjoyment than on how well I think they're objectively made, I can justify putting Midnight in fourth and below other stories that might be objectively better. Midnight is very well made. It's well written, it's well shot, it's well directed, it's well cast. It's great to see David Troughton back in Doctor Who. Again, I love when they bring in Classic Who alumni, especially not only is David, of course, a Classic Who alumni, he's the son of Patrick Troughton, so it's nice to see that as well. And I like that it's very much a bottle episode where it really just takes place in that one little shuttlecraft, basically. And the fact it's a companion light episode with it being really just the Doctor basically on his own. I enjoy that. Tennant puts in a good performance. The actress playing Skye puts in a really good performance as not only Skye, but also as Skye once she's possessed by the entity. And I really like the fact that we don't get the backstory on the Midnight entity. I always said Midnight was a story that never needed a sequel because I didn't want it to ruin it. Now, luckily, the sequel we did get with The Well didn't ruin it. It kept the Midnight entity mysterious without explaining it. But Midnight was always a story I was scared of them to do a sequel for. I mean, The Well pulled it off really well, probably being my second favorite episode of Season 2. But just, I love the fact that even the Doctor is in the dark about this thing. This is something he doesn't understand. This is something he doesn't know how to fight, something he doesn't know how to beat, something he doesn't understand at all. And then watching his own, because the 10th Doctor is very narcissistic, very arrogant, and a bit full of himself, and that kind of bites him in the ass here when he kind of tries to take charge and everyone turns on him. I like that. And then the way it shows the mob mentality and what people do when they're frightened, when they're scared, and when they're egging each other on. That's a reflection of real life, so that's fascinating to me. And just the use of lighting and camera angles is done really well in this episode. This is an episode that took me a long time to warm up to, but the last watch through I had of it was really, really good and highlighted to me just how well made it is. And now I can understand why it has the reputation it does. Next on the list is The Unicorn and the Wasp. And again, I would argue that objectively Midnight's a better episode than Unicorn and the Wasp, but I like Unicorn and the Wasp more. It's fun. It's filler, but it's the best kind of filler. It's fun. It's exciting. It's whimsical. It's silly, and I love it. I like a nice comedic episode that doesn't take itself very seriously. It's nice that they meet Agatha Christie, the actress playing Agatha Christie is great. I love the fact we got Christopher Benjamin in here. Again, love it when they sneak in classic actors, and Christopher Benjamin's great. He doesn't get a lot of screen time, but when he's there, he's great. I like the cast in this a lot. The guy playing the preacher, I know him from other stuff, and I can never remember what, but I always know I recognize him. And then just the story is a bit silly and bonkers, but it has some nice comedic aspects to it. Like when the Doctor is interviewing everybody and they're having flashbacks of what they're doing, and what it's showing on the screen doesn't match what they're saying at all. And now even the Doctor is having his own flashback of when he's like hacking through the woods. That's hilarious to me. Flashbacks within flashbacks. That's funny. I like I love all the jokes about, well, you didn't say anything, I'm British. The whole stiff upper lip British thing, that's mentioned a couple times. I enjoyed that. And of course, my personal favorite scene is when the Doctor's poisoned and they're trying to work out how to save him. That whole scene with the Doctor and Donna is hilarious. And then, you know, frickin', and she's like, what? That he needs like the salt or whatever it is and he can't get it out. I need a shot, so she kisses him and it works. That whole scene is just comedy gold. It's a fun episode. Not essential Doctor Who, but the best kind of filler, and I love it. Number 1 on the list is Partners in Crime, which one is a great season opener, and it's a great way to introduce the Doctor and Donna back to each other. And again, I love the humorous nature of it. First off, the adipose are adorable looking. I like it just how cute and adorable looking they are, especially considering how dangerous they can be. They look adorable. I'm surprised that we don't see plushies of them everywhere. You have a couple serious moments, like when the one girl gets killed. When Donna kind of accidentally kills her, that's brutal. Like when she tells the cab driver, I don't think she's going to make it. That's sad. But I love the humorous bits, like when they keep missing each other. The fact the Doctor and Donna keep missing each other barely. I also like the one woman trying to flirt with the Doctor and him just not getting it at all. You be health, I'll be safety. And he's like, oh, no. That's funny to me. And of course, the scene when the Doctor and Donna finally spot each other and she's at the door and he's at the window and and you can kind of tell what she's saying. It's me. And he's like, I can see that. What are you doing over there? And then she starts doing all this and Tennant has no idea what she's saying. The Doctor's just like, what? Until Mrs. Wormwood or whatever her name is like, are we interrupting? I like her casting too. The woman playing the nanny. I like her a lot. She won't be able to catch up with us unless she also has a sonic device. Cuts to her using her sonic device. That's amusing to me. And have you ever put two of them together? No. Nor me. And he puts the two together. It just has humorous bits I like to it. It's a fun episode, a great way to introduce the season, full of energy. It's great to see the Doctor and Donna back again. Number 1, I did put The Stolen Earth and Journey's End. I don't quite know why. It definitely doesn't deserve to be number 1. I really should have reordered that one somewhere. Because it's good as a finale, but not great. I like it. I like that it brings in, a lot of the people we've seen. Martha, Jack, Sarah Jane. It's nice to get Sarah Jane back in the show. But it does feel a little overstuffed. I like that they bring Davros back. And I think Julian Bleach is a great Davros. Plus, I love the makeup they use for Davros here. It's probably the best Davros has ever looked makeup-wise. And I think Julian Bleach is probably my second favorite Davros, outside of Michael Wisher. He's very good in the role. And I love the little joke with Harriet Jones. Bringing Harriet Jones back is funny to me. Even when she sees the Daleks, and she's like, Harriet Jones, former Prime Minister. And even the Daleks are like, yes, we know who you are. And the Dalek even sounds slightly annoyed by it. I love that running joke. I love that there's a little bit of humor in there. The Meta-Crisis Doctor thing is interesting. I mean, the Regeneration fake-out was a neat fake-out. I'll give it that. It was pretty interesting how they did that. It's great to see Rose back. I like that Rose gets her doctor and her happy ending with her half-doctor that she can grow old with. I think that's nice. I enjoy that. I kind of don't like what happens to Donna, but I get it, and it's a good ending for her. As much as I'm happy we got her back in the 60th, that kind of doesn't make sense. It's a good finale, but not perfect. Russell's not the best in the world at finales. The modern series isn't the best at finales. I mean, you have some really bad ones out there, but then you also have a lot of ones that are good without being great. And that's kind of how Stolen Earth is for me. I really should have ranked that probably 5th or 6th on the list, to be honest. Enjoyable, but not the best. But it was really interesting just the popularity wave Doctor Who was riding at this point. Tennant was firmly entrenched in the role at this point. Everybody was in love with his Doctor for the most part. I mean, he was hugely popular. Donna was hugely popular. He'd had 3 popular seasons. And the show was just in a really good place at this point, remembering where the show was in 2008. Really in a good spot. So I want to know what you think of Series 4. Comment down below and let's talk about it. Don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button as well. I also have a Patreon if you'd like to support me on that. There's a link to that down there. I want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons. Colin Coney, Sam Venning, Finn Perkins, and Unknown289. I appreciate their support. Yes, I do the support of all of my patrons. My P.O. box is down there if there's anything you'd like to send me to look at and review. I do have a birthday coming up at the beginning of July. If anyone would like to send me a nice birthday present, I love getting fan mail. Link to the Amazon wish list is down there. Check that out. I added some Legend of Zelda stuff on there recently. Some Legend of Zelda books I really want. And a link to my Amazon UK wish list is on there as well. Most importantly, thank you for watching.